When I do reaction videos, my camera's on. I have a recording software that I use that basically captures all of the good stuff that is going through that lens right there. And there's an indicator light right next to the lens telling me that the camera is on. I can see it in my preview window when I look at it, and everything's fine. And sometimes I minimize my recording software, and when that light's on, I'm like, wait, is my recording software on? Just gotta make sure, because you know, you never can tell nowadays. You get hacked and everything else. The thought of somebody filming me, I don't really do anything in this office besides work. If they want to see what I do, they can just watch my videos or my live streams. But honestly, it would be really, really creepy if I knew somebody was watching me. Can you imagine if someone set up a hidden camera in your house and was streaming or recording you? Oh man, the stuff I do. Y'all would know how many times I pick my nose, that's for sure. But guys, there's a horror story that we're gonna react to today from Spooked about live streaming. And it's gonna be creepy, I just know it. At any rate, make sure to check Spooked out, guys, and let's get into this reaction.
I first heard about these webcam streams a few years ago while watching one of those creepy things on the internet videos on YouTube.
Oh, the rabbit hole.
The first one I heard of is probably one of the most popular ones, Chip-chan. Of course, having knowledge of this only sparked my curiosity, so I ended up doing a bit of Googling until I managed to stumble upon a few webcam live streams.
Got you. Do they know they're being filmed?
I just want to say that, for the record, I'm not like obsessed with these things or anything.
Okay.
To be honest, I find them more creepy than I do interesting.
That's true.
And I never watch more than a few seconds. It's just one of those things that draw your attention to it, you know?
We watch pimple popping
I quickly
videos
found
now.
out that there were basically two different types of webcam footage. One where the owners were aware that they were being watched, and one where they didn't. I stuck to watching ones where the person or people involved were aware of an audience, and it started off with me watching a couple of minutes of weird footage a day. Or just whenever I got bored or needed a break, I watched the webcam for the Northern Lights a few times and jumped from a few less interesting ones.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
This morning, I was working on a final paper for one of my online classes when I decided that I needed a break.
Sure.
There's only so much you can write about world literature before you inevitably need to distract yourself for
I would
a bit.
definitely get distracted.
Since the paper isn't due until tomorrow night, I figured I at least had a few hours to kill.
Right.
First, I started by browsing YouTube, but I found nothing that sparked my interest. So I decided to hit the webcams next.
Alright.
I browsed through a few sites, clicking on a few, and then exiting the feed in a matter of seconds.
Sure.
Like most things, I was starting to get tired of this. I needed a new pastime.
Random stuff though, right?
I decided to skim through a couple more feeds until something further down the page caught my eye.
Alright, now we're getting good.
The feed was titled 318S Oblivion, and the reason why it caught my eye was because of a painting that was visible off to the side of the screen.
Okay.
It was my painting. It was one of my own pieces, which was currently hanging in my bedroom. In fact, when I clicked on the feed, I realized it was, in fact, my bedroom.
Dude, I just got the creeps so bad.
Of course. Currently, I was sitting in the kitchen.
Right.
I was a little bit confused at first, because the only webcam that was in my home was the one on my laptop.
Sure, somebody put a camera in your house, man.
I stared at the feed on my screen, trying to figure out where the camera was located in my bedroom. It seemed to be off to the left side of my bed, where the window was.
So
as I was about to get up to go investigate, the footage cut to black, before settling back in on a different picture.
Did they see him?
Now my living room was on the screen. I glanced around the frame, confirming that it was my living room. This time, it seemed like the camera was placed higher up, like in the corner of the ceiling. Again, after a bit, the screen glitched before settling on the next room, the kitchen. This view wasn't coming from my laptop either. In fact, it was coming from somewhere off to the right side of my room. I slowly glanced in that direction, but there was only a wall there.
Okay.
I looked back at the feed, and that's when I noticed something strange.
It wasn't a hidden camera.
I was in this room, obviously, but the me on the screen wasn't doing the same thing that I was doing. In the footage, I was standing in front of the stove, stirring a pot of something.
And it's you.
I studied the screen and noticed that I was even wearing different clothes.
Oh, it was from a different day.
I kept glancing from my laptop to my kitchen, What was going on here?
They
Was this some
recorded
kind
you
of prank?
with cameras.
I scrolled
and then
down
took
a
them
bit to
down?
see the timestamp. Tuesday, May 7th, 2019, 1:23:45 p.m.
How long ago was it?
The screen changed rooms again, but I was too distracted. How was it possible that I was watching a webcam feed from the future? I refreshed the page a few times, but the time remained the same.
I mean, the timestamp can be
Tomorrow
hacked.
at 1:23 p.m.
The
last time I refreshed it, I saw the screen
you know?
change to footage of the back door.
Okay.
I watched as 3 people dressed in black and ski masks over their faces opened the door and went into the house, each one of them waving to the camera as they broke into the house.
Like they recorded them installing
The footage
the
switched once
cameras or
again to
something?
me in the kitchen. I watched as the people came from behind me. One of them hit me in the head with something, while another moved the pan from the stove, and together
But that
they
didn't
shoved my
happen
face
to
into
you.
the burner.
Oh my god.
I watched myself struggle as they appeared to laugh. Then they pulled my face back. Due to the angle of the footage, I wasn't able to see the result of the burning,
Thank goodness.
which I was glad for.
Can you imagine how
I kept watching
it must
though,
be to watch something
as they
like this?
proceeded to take turns, stabbing me on the screen.
God dang.
After a while, I fell limp, and they let me collapse on the floor. I watched as one of them started to grab me by my arms, and the second one grabbed my legs, while the third one walked right up to the camera.
How is this
I watched as he
possible?
reached for something out of frame. He appeared to pull something out of his pocket, a notebook. He flipped through the pages, showing me the writing on each one. This was when I finally noticed that the feed had no volume.
Right.
We know you watch. There's no way to stop. We are coming. Time to die.
What?
After the last one, the camera feed turned off. I grabbed some stuff to take with me, including some clothing, cash, and some snacks. I called an Uber, and I'm currently on my way to a motel.
I'm so confused, dude.
I'm going to leave my phone in this Uber in case I'm being tracked or something. I'll try to buy another cheap phone for updates, but there's no guarantee on that. I don't want to spend all my money so fast. I'm not sure if running away will work, but I have to try.
Dude.
I don't want to die.
I don't know if moving is going to... What just happened? I'm so confused. So, if... Let's try to rationally put this together. If a trio of people would have broken into his house and installed cameras and then staged to where it was somebody else, you know, like murdered somebody else, either murdered somebody else or I don't know. We didn't see the real footage, right? And he didn't see his face when it got burnt. I can only assume it was somebody else, but the fact that all of this went down and he watched it is nuts, man. Holy crap. This was awesome, Spooked. Y'all make sure to subscribe to Spooked as well as a couple other reaction videos that I did for Spooked's channel. Thanks so much for watching. As always, this is Zueljin signing off. We'll see you next time.